Hi everybody, my name is Jamie Olhaver. I'm 24 years old, originally from Costa Mesa, California. I was the 2012 climate intern for the George Melinda's Wright Foundation in Yellowstone National Park. So you can see behind me, this isn't Yellowstone. This isn't a thermal pool. Those aren't bison way off there in the distance.
This isn't a geyser, and this isn't Mount Washburn, though some may say it's a supervolcano that is ready to erupt at any second.
I actually currently live here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., where I'm a grants administrator for the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, otherwise known as NFWF, where I help give out grants to conservation groups and federal agencies that are doing work throughout the United States. You're going to have to bear with me a little bit while I try and use the surroundings here in D.C. as best I can to make this video a little bit more interesting. I didn't want everybody just watching slides go by the screen the whole video. My internship in Yellowstone was an amazing experience. It was a great opportunity for me to put some of my academic experience and knowledge as a conservation biology minor at UCLA to some good use and really see how science works out in the field and in the national park system. I'm not a stranger to the national park system. I grew up going to parks out in California and throughout the West, and out of college I worked as an SCA intern for a year with the Rivers, Trails, and Conservation Assistance Program in the Midwest region, based out of Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. But working in Yellowstone was just a completely different experience. It was an amazing time, and I learned a lot.
As a climate intern for Yellowstone National Park, my main project was to conduct climate change vulnerability assessments for species in the greater Yellowstone area using NatureServe's Climate Change Vulnerability Index tool, or CCVI. The CCVI is a Microsoft Excel-based model that can be used to rapidly assess the vulnerability of a species to climate change in a defined geographic area. The assessment uses qualitative rankings of a species' direct exposure to climate change, indirect exposure to climate change, and sensitivities in order to generally predict if a species will be vulnerable or not. My responsibilities for this project included strategically selecting the species that were going to be used to test the CCVI tool, actually conducting the CCVI assessment for each species by reviewing literary sources and obtaining input from species experts, discussing the results of the CCVI assessments, and providing analysis of the pros and cons of the CCVI tool. While working in Yellowstone, I was also able to participate in a national pollinator study and collect bee samples throughout the park. Additionally, I was able to attend a climate change adaptation workshop hosted by the Great Northern Landscape Conservation Cooperative, and I was able to meet natural resource professionals from other federal lands as well as non-federal stakeholders.